There is someone in your life who carries a weight that grows heavier with each passing day. This person walks through their hours burdened by the memory of what they rejected, haunted by the realization of what they carelessly pushed away. Every sunrise brings them face to face with the truth they can no longer deny. They turned their back on a love that was offered freely, generously, and without conditions. The affection you extended toward them was pure and selfless, yet at the time, they could not fully comprehend its depth. Perhaps they convinced themselves they were unprepared to receive such profound care. Perhaps fear whispered lies into their heart, making them believe they were unworthy of the tenderness you offered so openly. But now, in the absence of your voice, in the stillness where your presence once filled their world, they are beginning to understand the magnitude of their loss. The silence you have chosen speaks louder than any words ever could. It echoes through their days and reverberates through their nights, creating a void that nothing else can fill. What they once dismissed as ordinary has transformed into an emptiness that consumes them. They are restless, unable to find peace, because they sense the profound shift that has occurred within you. They feel the withdrawal of your energy, the redirection of your focus, the way you have released this connection into the hands of the divine and chosen instead to pour your love and attention into your own healing and growth. This silence is suffocating them in ways they never anticipated. Each day unfolds with the same painful ritual. They find themselves staring at their phone, scrolling through old messages, refreshing their notifications with desperate hope. They wake each morning believing that perhaps today will be different, that maybe you will reach out, that you might soften and offer them the comfort they once took completely for granted. But as morning turns to afternoon and afternoon fades into evening, your silence remains unbroken. With each hour that passes without your call, without your text, without any sign of your presence, the ache of your absence grows sharper and more unbearable. They are finally beginning to grasp the true cost of their choices. They are starting to understand the price one pays for treating genuine love carelessly, for not cherishing what was given with such sincerity and devotion. Their longing for you has become a constant companion, walking beside them through every moment, intertwining itself with a guilt that refuses to grant them any rest or reprieve. This guilt runs far deeper than surface regret. It penetrates to the very core of who they are. Your person knows with painful clarity that they hurt you with their actions and their words. They remember the things they said in moments of anger, frustration, and insecurity, and they recognize now that those words left scars upon your heart. At the time, they may not have fully understood the damage they were inflicting, but hindsight has brought devastating clarity. They see now that their behavior was unfair, immature, and rooted entirely in their own fears rather than in any truth about you or your character. They replay those moments endlessly in their mind, tormented by regret over how they allowed density and negativity to cloud their judgment. They know they let their own shadows dictate their reactions, pushing away someone whose only intention was ever to bring them love, peace, and unwavering support. This awareness is tormenting them now because they cannot undo the past, cannot rewrite those chapters, yet they desperately wish they could erase every moment of pain they caused you. Yet amid this overwhelming guilt and restlessness, something else is stirring within them, a genuine yearning to heal. They do not want this connection to be forever defined by mistakes and miscommunication, by misunderstandings and missed opportunities. They want to take full responsibility for what went wrong and to repair the bond that once felt so powerful, so destined, so right. In the depths of their heart, they are longing to clear the air between you, to apologize with complete sincerity for their wrongdoings and for the unnecessary attitude they displayed. They recognize now that they allowed pride and ego to interfere precisely when vulnerability and openness were most needed. Now they dream of having the chance to stand before you, to look into your eyes and tell you how deeply, how profoundly sorry they are. They want to apologize for the times they dismissed your feelings, for the moments they acted out of fear rather than love, and for the distance they created between your two hearts. They long to speak words of genuine remorse for every instance when they should have chosen you but instead chose their own protection, their own comfort, their own pride. What troubles them even more deeply is their growing awareness of the transformation that has taken place within you. They can see it, whether through direct observation or through the intuitive connection that still exists between you, that you have raised your vibration significantly. You have evolved into someone who knows their worth with unshakable certainty, someone who no longer entertains anything less than what they truly deserve. This realization fills them with a complex mixture of admiration and fear. The admiration comes from a place of genuine respect. They are proud of the strength and self-respect you now embody. They can see that you have grown into a version of yourself that radiates confidence and wisdom. But alongside this admiration lives a very real fear, the fear that they may no longer have a place in your elevated life. They understand with stark clarity that they cannot return to you with half-hearted energy, with empty promises, or with the same inconsistent behavior they displayed before. They know you would not accept it, and rightfully so. You have elevated yourself to a sacred space where love must be genuine, equal, and honored. You have raised your standards to a level where anything less than authentic devotion will be recognized and rejected. This is what fuels their sense of urgency now. They are fighting an intense inner battle, wrestling with the fear that holds them back while simultaneously feeling compelled to break their silence. They feel an almost overwhelming need to find the courage to reach out, to initiate a conversation, to bridge the gap that has grown between you. They feel time pressing against them, urging them forward because they can sense that you are moving forward with your life, embracing your own path, and not looking back over your shoulder. They fear that if they hesitate any longer, if they allow more days and weeks to slip away in silence, the door between you may close completely and permanently. And so, even though they are burdened by fear, weighed down by guilt, and paralyzed by uncertainty, the magnetic pull of this connection is urging them to step forward. In their heart of hearts, they hold on to hope that healing is still possible. They imagine a future where all misunderstandings have been resolved, where forgiveness has replaced resentment, and where love flows freely and abundantly between you once again. They want to create that reality not merely with words and promises, but with actions, with consistency, and with the devotion they once foolishly withheld. They may not yet fully know how to express the entire depth of their regret, but they are determined to try because the thought of losing this connection permanently is a loss they cannot bear to accept. As they wrestle with their thoughts and emotions, one truth becomes crystallized: they are ready to transform this pain into something meaningful and beautiful. They are ready to acknowledge the lessons they have learned, to grow from their mistakes, and to meet you at the elevated level you now deserve. They understand that continuing in silence will no longer serve them, that avoidance has only created more distance and more pain, and that what is needed now is raw truth, complete vulnerability, and uncommon courage. Their heart is calling out desperately for reconciliation, for a second chance to prove themselves, and for the opportunity to finally give you the love they once rejected when it was freely offered. They find themselves becoming fixated on your energy because it feels like you are the only person who truly sees them for who they are at their core. In your presence, they never felt the need to explain themselves excessively or filter their emotions to make them more palatable. You simply understood them. There is something profoundly rare about the way your presence reaches into the hidden parts of their soul, the places they usually keep carefully tucked away from the world, and suddenly those heavy, dark places do not feel quite so overwhelming anymore. To them, you are perfect in every way that truly matters. Not perfect in the sense of being without flaws or human imperfections, but perfect in the way your very existence fits into the shape of their heart. Perfect in the way your spirit feels like it was always meant to cross paths with theirs, as if the universe conspired to bring you together. They know that sometimes you worry about the two of you being too different, as if those differences might drive a wedge between you or make what you share fragile and temporary. But to them, those differences hold no power to diminish what you share. In fact, they believe those differences make you stronger together, more balanced, more complete as a union. All they know with absolute certainty is that you are all they want, and they cannot forget you no matter how hard they try to move forward. You have left an imprint upon their soul that neither time nor distance has managed to fade or diminish. For a while, they convinced themselves they were managing okay without you in their life. They tried to move through their days as if your absence was not slowly eating away at them from the inside. They filled their calendar with distractions, immersed themselves in busy tasks, and surrounded themselves with shallow interactions, but none of it worked for very long. The truth they can no longer deny is that this separation between you is hitting them harder than they ever expected or prepared for. It is breaking their heart piece by piece, testing the very limits of their patience and endurance. The silence stretching between you feels unbearable, like a physical weight pressing down upon their chest, making them restless and leaving them aching constantly for your voice, your words, your warmth. They want to tell you without any hesitation how much they cannot stand being away from you anymore. They miss the way you used to text each other with such frequency and intensity. Every message exchange was so alive, so charged with energy that made their heart race with anticipation. There was always something magnetic about your conversations, as if you were both holding on to every single word the other wrote. They missed the playful teasing, the way you could make them laugh and blush simultaneously, the way you could pull them out of any dark mood with just a few carefully chosen words appearing on a screen. Those little moments, which might have seemed insignificant at the time, meant more to them than they ever admitted to you or even to themselves. And now they long for those moments with an ache they cannot seem to quiet, no matter what they do or how they try to distract themselves. They do not want to keep lying to themselves anymore, pretending that they can simply move on or that the longing will eventually fade with enough time. It is their deepest, most heartfelt desire to reconnect with you, to rebuild what you had together, but this time to build it stronger and freer, without the chains of past patterns holding you back. They know they have carried unhealthy patterns throughout their life, habits and behaviors that hurt them and sometimes hurt the connection between you. They do not want to remain trapped in those destructive cycles any longer. They want to leave them behind completely and step into something healthier, something more open and honest and real. For the first time in their life, they feel truly ready to face those broken parts of themselves and commit to real change. Not just for you, though you are a powerful motivation, but for themselves and for the genuine possibility of a future together if you are both given another chance. Lately, you have been slipping into their dreams with increasing frequency. Those dreams have become their refuge, their sanctuary from waking pain. When they close their eyes at night, sometimes they are granted the gift of seeing you again. In those precious moments, they feel a sense of peace and completeness they cannot find anywhere else in their waking life. In their dreams, you appear so serene, as if the world does not weigh upon your shoulders in the same crushing way it does in waking reality. They wake from those dreams clinging desperately to the fading memory of your face, wishing with everything in them that they could reach out and touch you, that they could close the painful space between you. Even in sleep, their heart is reaching for yours, seeking connection across whatever distance separates you. What surprises them most is discovering how much love they still carry for you within their heart. It is a love that has not diminished even slightly with distance or silence or time apart. If anything, it has grown deeper and stronger, transforming into something more powerful than they ever thought themselves capable of feeling. They love you in ways they do not always know how to articulate or put into adequate words. It is not simply about missing your physical presence in their life. It goes so much deeper than that. It is about cherishing the way you made them feel truly alive, understood in ways no one else ever has, and genuinely wanted for exactly who they are. It is about remembering the way your energy pulled them in like gravity, made them feel like they were exactly where they belonged in this vast universe. They find themselves imagining constantly what it would be like to start over with you, to rebuild your connection with honesty, patience, and love positioned firmly at the center of everything. They dream of letting go of fear, of releasing all doubts, of abandoning everything that held you both back before. They want to rediscover you as if meeting you for the first time, to learn and appreciate the parts of you they have not yet seen, and to let you see the truest, most authentic version of themselves without masks or walls. They want to laugh with you again like you used to share secrets in the darkness of night, and to find comfort in knowing that even when life feels impossibly heavy, you are navigating it together, side by side. Even now, as these feelings move through them, they can sense the intensity of their longing growing stronger. It is not just a fleeting crush or a temporary attachment that will fade. It is something deeper and more profound, something that has woven itself into the very fabric of their being. You have become an integral part of their story, a part of their identity that they cannot and do not want to erase. That is precisely why the silence hurts so devastatingly much. That is why the distance feels so unbearable. Because what they feel for you is absolutely real, and it refuses to be silenced or diminished. They love you more than you could ever fully know or comprehend. And even if they cannot yet find the perfect words to explain the entirety of what lives in their heart is already speaking for them in the language of longing and devotion. All they want is the chance to show you, to prove beyond any doubt that the love they carry is not only genuine but enduring and eternal. They want you to know that no matter what obstacles arise, no matter what differences exist between you, they still choose you. Today, tomorrow, and always, they choose you. Your person is overwhelmed with emotions right now, caught in the deep and undeniable pull of lovesickness over this sacred connection. They find themselves thinking of you constantly, unable to escape the intensity of their feelings no matter how they try. Deep in their soul, they know that the time has come to open their heart to you completely, to stop holding back out of fear or pride, and to show you the full truth of how much you mean to them. They recognize with clarity that no one could ever steal or diminish the depth of what they feel for you because these emotions belong uniquely and entirely to you. This realization has been powerful and transformative for them, stirring something deep within their spirit, a desire to step forward with complete honesty and vulnerability, to risk being seen fully. At the same time, your person is not blind to the pain their actions have caused you. They are painfully, devastatingly aware that their mistakes and poor behavior left you hurt and broken more times than anyone should ever have to endure. There were moments when their thoughtless words or selfish choices brought tears streaming down your face. And though you found the strength and grace to forgive them again and again, demonstrating a mercy they did not deserve, the weight of those experiences has not simply disappeared into the past. They can feel that you are no longer in the place where forgiveness comes so easily or freely. They know you have grown tired of excusing their toxic patterns, and you have made the powerful choice to stand firm in protecting your peace and your boundaries. This awareness brings them both crushing regret and deep shame because they see clearly now how much they risked losing someone who only ever wanted to love them sincerely and completely. Despite all the mistakes, all the pain they caused, your person's heart is longing desperately to make its way back to you. They are actively manifesting your return, hoping with every fiber of their being that they can draw you back into their life and their arms. Their desire is not shallow or fleeting like passing infatuation. It is rooted in the profound depth of their passion and the undeniable truth of their love for you. They are preparing themselves emotionally and spiritually to finally express the fullness of their feelings, to show you the intensity and devotion that they were once too afraid or too careless to reveal. They are ready to speak openly about the passion that burns within them, the longing that keeps them awake through long nights, and the vision they now hold of building something truly meaningful and lasting with you. What has pushed them into this transformation is the profound impact you have had upon their entire life and way of being. Your maturity and deep understanding have stood out in ways that no one else in their past ever has. You have shown remarkable patience during times when most others would have simply walked away without looking back. You have offered kindness and compassion even when you had every legitimate reason to harden your heart and close yourself off from them. To them, this extraordinary grace is proof of how fundamentally different you are from anyone they have ever encountered before. They see now with painful clarity that you were never like the people from their past who hurt them or let them down. Yet out of their own deep insecurities and ingrained habits, they treated you as if you were just like everyone else. That recognition fills them with profound embarrassment and regret because they realize how unfairly they handled something so rare and valuable and precious.